Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Indeed. I am your host, Katelyn, and today we're going to be covering my most recent indie game obsession, which has taken hours of my life and a lot of curse words. A lot. So the game I'm going to cover today is called Furi. So this game was free last month on PlayStation, so I was like, you know what, I'll download it and try it out, because it's super colorful. I loved how it looked, and I was like, I want to try it out. Oh my gosh. It is ridiculous. Imagine if you had a game that was both a sword fighter and a shooter game with only bosses. Every single level is a boss level. And it sounds really cool, and it's a lot of fun, but it is so infuriating. And I think that lends to the title really well of Furi, because I threw so many curse words at my TV, and I'm only at like the third boss, and it's already taken so many hours of my life. It's a really cool game, and I would recommend checking it out, but be prepared to be there for a while. So each boss is a little bit more difficult. You have to learn patterns and like what they do and how it's going to affect you. And before I get into like the technical and the game mechanics of it, let's go more into the backstory of this game. Furi was developed by the French game company named The Game Bakers. Now, I really loved the style of this, and honestly, when I first sat down to play it, my first thought was Afro Samurai. So what I found out after doing some more research about Furi is that all the enemies in this game were designed by the creator of Afro Samurai, and that's why it had such a similar feel to it. So besides just being influenced by a style of a very famous Japanese manga and anime, this game was also inspired by a lot of Japanese games such as Metal Gear Solid, God Hand, No More Heroes, and the result is a very interesting combination of both sword fighting and shooting, and just, it's very interesting. It's a very heavy skill-based game. You need to learn your enemies, you need to figure out their patterns, and you need to grind. Like, honestly, it took me multiple attempts to try to get through the first boss, and he was supposed to be the tutorial level, but you have to figure out how your character works, how, for example, parries give you more health, and how you can do combo moves and do like super attacks towards them. And through that tutorial, it shows you how to do it, but it's hard to figure out while you're also battling this formidable foe. So each boss has different superpowers, different attacks, and you have to slowly learn it while you're playing. So honestly, there's not a guaranteed way to beat a boss in one go. You could be really good and be able to beat a boss like that done over. And honestly, the mechanics of your character aren't really that hard to pick up. You have your sword, which you slash. You have your gun, which you shoot. You can dodge and you can parry. That's about it. And some of them you can do a charge shot, you can do a charge slash, you can do a charge dodge. And honestly, there's not a lot of mechanics besides that. You don't really get any power-ups, you don't get any boosts to your character. You are the same through the whole thing, which helps so you don't have to keep relearning new attack moves. Like a lot of RPGs, you have to unlock extra moves and then you have to remember the button combos, but this one you just need to remember your basic moves and learn how to use them correctly against the new enemies. So I would really highly recommend Furi, but just be prepared for a lot of rage quits. It is a very ragey game, and honestly, that's what a lot of critics are hitting it hardest for. It's kind of to the point that it's so difficult that it's almost unbeatable, especially in the final bosses, which I'm not going to do any spoilers, but depending on which track you take, which is another thing, it has multiple endings, but depending on which track you take, you're going to face different opponents at the end, which have like a much bigger gap of skill level. Like the final boss of the one that I've seen is ridiculous. Like, I don't even know how I could do it. I could try my hardest and grind and grind and grind and maybe get it one day, but that would be hours of work. So it's a fun game. I love the aesthetic, the colors are gorgeous, and just the overall design is really interesting. But the problem is, this game is so hard, a lot of people are just giving up on it like that. It's like, too hard, we're done. So I guess that's my one feedback. I don't want it to be like too easy, and I understand that this is supposed to be more of a skill-based game, but it's gotten to the point that a lot of people find it way too hard. So yeah, if you guys want to check it out, I know it's on PlayStation for sure. I think it's on Steam. I know you can get the soundtrack on Steam, and it honestly has really bomb-ass music. That's one of the things that kept me playing, is just the constant awesome like drum beats and background music that are playing, and it really makes it enjoyable. even though you're tearing your hair out and questioning your life choices. So thanks again, guys, for stopping by. And if you try out Furi, can you leave me a comment below? Let me know if you like rage quit or actually try and like get through and beat like a certain boss. Like I just said, I'm still stuck on the 3rd boss. It's been ridiculous, but I haven't been able to play a lot recently. So it's kind of both. I gave up slightly and I have no time. So let me know how far you get, or if you give up, or whatever your experience is. I'd love to find out. And if you aren't already subscribed to the Super Geek Friends, you can hit this subscribe button and become a geeky today. And thanks again for stopping by, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.